So here we are at the world famous body shop. We got Chris Psycho Lewis, we got my man Alex from up north, we got Mo in Shape, and we got my man Prince. So we got the whole gang here. We're gonna hit some deltoids today. This is the first time I'm hitting delts with Chris during prep. It's by design. So it's gonna see how it goes. Delts is one of my strong suits, but I don't enjoy training them. They get pumped and they hurt a lot for me. So it's gonna be pretty fun. Training has been going great. Very, very intense, very focused session. And we just glide right on into the Indy Pro. So I'm gonna go ahead, Alex, take it away and tell you what he's got on tap.
Just piggybacking off that, Alex Michael here, Coach Michael Untamed. I'm just glad to make the trip down, get some work in. I'm about 5 weeks out from my qualifier, Night of Champions up in Anaheim. So I'm looking forward to getting some good work, learning as usual, and finishing off strong.
All right, Mo here. I'm 5 weeks out from the New York Pro, working on one of my weak points with Psycho, which is my deltoids. As Ron mentioned, it's one of his strong points. But hey, we all in here together. We've been looking to link up for a while now, and hey, past few weeks, Psycho's been putting us through it, working back, deltoids and all. So, hey, this is the place to come in if you want to get dialed in. Psycho Body Shop for sure.
Prince, manface P _ 226. I'm here with these Titans today. Like I said, about to get these boulders going. So, you know, we're gonna come in here and move some mountains. Try to get these dudes right and ready for the stage.
All right, cool. All right, here's the body shop. Okay, we got my client Alex here, who I train, Ron, Mo, who I train, Prince right here in the body shop. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna train some delts. Now, I really wanna work on shape and actually stretching the shoulder so it won't atrophy, because all these guys are real close to their show, so I don't wanna lose any body parts, but I wanna try to accent as much shape as possible. So whenever, like Ron, he's a very dominant, strong person with shoulders, you always want to team up with somebody with great shoulders. If your shoulders are lagging, if your legs are lagging, try to get with somebody with a great body part, see what they do, try to beat them, emulate what they do and learn from that person. So all these guys are gonna learn, and like, I'm gonna hone my craft as well, because whenever I train guys, mix and match them, I wanna make sure that I give Ron what he needs, Mo what he needs, and Alex what he needs. So it's a learning experience for me as well. I never get to the point where I think I know it all, because my dad would always say, a person that knows everything knows nothing. All right, let's go. Ron is the senior pro here, so it's always important. I want him to set the tone. I want these guys to be the rapid and try to pass him or keep up with him, not just with weight, but actually with performance and locking himself in and doing it, execute it the right way. So whenever you get a chance to train with a top pro, always take it and then try to emulate what that person does, and then put those tools in your arsenal. All right, we're gonna go with some front raises here with cable, get a little pump going here, and might do a little adjustment, but let's try it here.
Facing in and out.
Facing out. 5, 4.
One of the things that I'm trying to do when I go through this exercise, you probably can't see it because I got on my sweatshirt, but when I come down, I'm trying to drop my traps. If you notice, a lot of times guys get here and they'll start doing that. So I'm trying to relax my traps and just come up just like that, okay? So that's what I'm focusing on mentally.
All right, now what I'm doing, I'm making lightweight feel heavy. So if you're not born with natural shape, time and lightweight will create shape. So what I'm doing like this, I'm having them hold it. And as long as I hold it, it's gonna go deeper in the layers of muscle, which is called fascia, and stimulate growth or change. That's the reason for the hold. Slow, I want nice, crisp, deep variations in the delts, and that comes from long sets. Give me one, please. Back, up slow. Boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go slow.
Come on.
Let's go deep in there, down to the bone. That's it, come on. Engage those delts, come on, engage,
All
come
right,
on.
back up.
There you go.
Turn, chin up.
One more. Here we go. There we go. Now you're working on. There you go. Now you're working. Lock it. Come on, there you go. Come on, there you go. You're working now, boy. Come on.
Bring it down.
Slow,
Come on,
slow.
Yeah. Back up. Come
Do
on.
some more.
Chin up.
Come on. That's it.
Yep.
Do it again. Turn them out. Come on. Come on. I need a twin. Give me two. Come on. Give me a double. Come on. Oh, do it again. Come on. Those traps. Don't engage those traps. Come on. Up. No, slow. Fight. Mental. It's all mental. Slow. Oh, yeah. I'll take that.
We're building into, still sticking with the anterior deltoid, so going into a front raise with a single dumbbell. So grip is going to be here. Just by putting my hand here without weight, I can feel my anterior deltoid pretty fired up. So we're coming in here, we're going to stay right in this pocket. It's almost, especially when you got a good pump for taller guys, we're not going to be able to lock out anyway. So that naturally creates a lot of tension within this small space. So even though we're not, setting the world on fire with weight, the fact that we just burned out our front delt with the previous exercise and comes here, we're still getting a lot of money from this.
Now. So this movement is a little bit tougher for Ron, like it kind of it's delts, whether it be genetic or it's just full of blood. It doesn't really like this movement, so I'm gonna finish it, but I'm not gonna increase the weight and just kind of lock him in and reduce the reps. But it's fully stressed as I touch it. He got a pump just sitting there, so I'm not gonna just try to push him in and let my ego touch. I really want to just make sure he gets some quality reps. So that front delt is thoroughly trashed. So we're gonna move over into the side delt. Just because these guys are so close out, I am gonna start with a cable movement. I think I'll do a machine, and just because I want to make sure these guys, I'm not trying to do this ego thing and too heavy weight, so I'm going to go to cable. We might do some dumbbells aside. Let me see how these guys' body parts are reacting. 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There you go. That's yours. Now give me 3. Go. 1, 2. Bring it up. That's yours. Move in there. That's your easy resonance. Move in there. Now bring it up. Now take it from me. I got it. Now bring it down slow. Now slow. Okay, I said slow. Hold it. Slow. Let's go. Bring it down a little bit. Do some little pumpers. Pump. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
So doing this padded lateral raise machine. A lot of people just come in here, they'll do 12, 15 reps straight, and you realize when you do this, it's not the heaviest calibrated machine when you do that. But what you can do is you can use this to perform static holds in a way that probably will be uncomfortable or will cause an injury if you were to do dumbbells. If you were to grab a couple of dumbbells and do this, all kinds of things will be going on. So you come here, you can put everything on your elbows and your pads, so this part of your arm and everything wouldn't get fatigued in the way that it would if you were using dumbbell. So it's an excellent machine, especially going into warming up the side lateral deltoid. And at this point I'm rambling because my shoulders are on fire, so let me go ahead and get to my set.
3, keep going. 1, 2, 4, Up one. Get up. Down slow. Down slow. Down slow. Down slow. Down slow. Down slow. Down. I'm trying to do upright row, which upright row and shoulder press, they work off the edge of the delt, but on this one we're going to get a little bit of trapeze in there. Now, what I noticed when the previous kerfuffle I did, they were going back and they were engaging the bicep and they were doing more rear delt. The rear delt I don't care about, but the actual bicep, I didn't want that. Two reasons: that's not what we're working today, and then I don't want to get his body used to training shoulders and bicep at the same time. So bodybuilder, we want to work the muscle belly, we want to work separatism, because they're judged on how their body is separate, is how separate it is. If we work it all in unison, it'll grow all in unison. We want the peaks and valleys in there, so that's why I don't want to train bicep and shoulders. So on outie, beside that. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. I can see the delt moving. One straight. Keep that wrist straight. Keep that wrist straight. Keep that, there you go. Keep that wrist straight. Whenever you see the wrist goes like that, he's using that bicep in the forearm. That's it. Keep close to the body. Close to the body. So back training is always elbow placement. Shoulders is elbow placement. So when I see, I want to see this. Whenever I see the client doing this, they're using their forearm and they're focusing on the actual bar and not the muscle. So you don't want to see this when you're doing back. So when you start seeing this right here, they're thinking about getting the weight back as far as possible. It's getting the elbow in the right place. So Ron is so wide. This whole prep, we were trying to get his delt bigger. I mean, his trap bigger. We wanted it bigger because he's so wide here. So we want to get that effect that he's proportioned. And I think we accomplished that. Keep it close to the body, close as possible. There you go. Close to the body, elbow, keep the wrist straight, keep the wrist down, bar down. That's it. Bring him forward like a pinball. Bring him forward. Delts forward. There you go. Delts forward. There you go. Right here. Come on. Numbers 4. 4. Come on. 3. 2. Good job. So we as trainers, we design the workout, but all these guys are trainers. They know how to train. It's just when the pain comes in, you may alter what you're doing to complete the task. And sometimes the task could go from building great delts to getting 10 or 15. So as a trainer, it's my job to push them back in the fire. There you go. Elbow, 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 elbow up, elbow up.
I was just thinking that as Chris was saying, like, if you have a strength of your physique, you actually have to train yourself to immediately think as a judge how your strength affects the rest of your physique. Because sometimes that can be your biggest weakness in the sense that if you're very wide up top, you have to immediately think, how does that affect my lower body? Because now, even if you're slightly proportioned like some bodybuilders, you might want to bring down certain areas because that's going to make your weakness look even worse. It's all about a package, and bodybuilding is judged pose for pose, so it's not body part for body part. So you can have a great body part and it wins you absolutely no poses. So you have to think about how your strengths play a role into your weaknesses and how you can actually expose yourself if you continue to overdevelop certain body parts while not bringing up others.
Control it. Got 3 great athletes here. We got a little battle going on, but you know, but all good and motivated. So I always like to have the amateur chase the pro. For that reason being, the pro has to level up because this amateur should not be on your tail like that. And I feel he has to train harder than the pro to equal the pro. So I'm kind of putting Alex in a good position, but a bad position. So he's got to do a little bit more work than Ron, a little bit more work than Maurice, because he always has to level up and chase the pro. And you're only as good as your training partner. If your training partner doesn't motivate you, if you're not running from the training partner, not trying to chase the training partner, they're really no good. So we're gonna do this huge drop set here and there, and we're gonna leave it here. Here we go.
All right, we just finishing up a killer delt workout. You know, I like the science behind the whole fashion of it, pre-exhausting the front delts, and I love the way that cycle comes and makes sure that that delt is firing. He comes and touches it when you're engaging in the reps. So I love that about it. And then we killed fronts, side laterals. We did upright rows laying down, different variations that most people don't hit, that are overlooked. And we did so many different movements. It's just, we can't do nothing but gain delts today. You know, it was a good one, as always.
It was the best delt session I've had since my setback last year. It's a great pump. I enjoy working out with guys because I like to feed off of different things and different kind of energy. Mo, he makes me feel great because he goes through a lot more excruciating pain than I do. So my goal is to try to get to where he's going. Alex is just this aggressive dog that you don't want to let out. So I try to find my place in the middle, being the older man that's just trying to get the form and everything. So I try to be as aggressive as him and then try to seek out the pain that he's going through. And it's a great little foundation. So it's a great workout. We touched everything. We got some traps involved, front delt, side delt, everything was pumped. Did a little pump check in the mirror there, so that was pretty good. And yeah, star of the day, Alex, he killed everything today, man. So great work. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, for me, it's always inspiring and just it does something to be able to come down, make the trip down and train with these guys. You know, like I said before, these guys are where I aspire to be and where I will be soon. And it just, you know, shows me, it kind of validates the work that I put in by myself with the help of, you know, Chris, my coach, the work that we put in, the work we put in so far, and coming down with Ron and Mo and seeing these guys up close in person, training with these guys, pushing myself. Like Chris said earlier, I have to outwork them, and that's my mindset every time. You know, for me, coming down, I feel like my role is to get these guys ready just like they get me ready. Like, it validates me and to give them a push, like, hey, don't let up, 'cause I'm coming, you know. So I always come down, try to learn as much as I can, try to have as much energy as possible, try to push through as much as I can, and push these guys while pushing myself at the same time. So good work as always.
Yeah, you know, just like these men said, it's always great work. You know, they were after each other the whole session, and you know, it's always a joy for me to be able to watch, you know, them push each other, and then me being able to box them in anytime I can, you know, taking advantage of the pros while they, you know, under some weight from time to time. But again, you know, the star right here, the big dog, you know, he came and made sure everybody was uncomfortable. Yeah. So again, great work, you know, from the pros, the up and coming pro. And, you know, I hope to see these dudes on stage taking that title.
So I'm not gonna say much that I really don't need to, because they're the stars of this in the video what we did. But men make men, diamonds cut diamonds, and steel make steel. That's it.
Just think,